to the St Lawrence's Sunday School. We hope you've had a wonderful summer holiday and really glad that you're back with us. So as usual, we're going to start with a prayer today, and then we're going to have a story, and then we're going to talk about the things that are in the story, and then we're going to choose some activities and then have another prayer. So the first thing we'll do is we'll put our hands together, close our eyes and say, "Dear Lord, thank you very much for the summer holidays. Thank you for giving us a chance to spend time with our families and to hopefully get away. Thank you for the glorious sunshine that you gave us for several weeks during the holiday. And thank you for bringing us back safely all together to celebrate with you and join our Sunday school family again. Amen."
Amen.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about God the Creator. And if you were at Sunday school at the family service, you would have heard us talking about God the Creator during that, and about some of the ways we look after our planet. And we're going to talk about that again today. So first, our story, and this is the story of creation from Genesis 1 in the Bible. In the beginning, when God created the universe, the earth was formless and desolate. The raging ocean that covered everything was engulfed in total darkness, and the power of God was moving over the water. Then God commanded, "Let there be light," and light appeared. God was pleased with what he saw. Then he separated the night from the darkness, and he named the light day and the darkness night. Evening passed and morning came. That was the first day. Then God commanded, "Let there be a dome to divide the water and to keep it in two separate places." And it was done. So God made a dome, and it separated the water under it from the water above it. He named the dome Sky. Evening passed and the morning came, and that was the second day. Then God commanded, "Let the water below the sky come together in one place, so that the land will appear." And it was done. He named the land Earth, and the water which had come together he named Sea. And God was pleased with what he saw. Then he commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of plants, those that bear grain and those that bear fruit." And it was done. So the earth produced all kinds of plants, and God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed, and the morning came, and that was the third day. Then God commanded, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate day from night and to show the time when days, years, and religious festivals begin. They will shine in the sky to give light to the earth." And it was done. So God made two larger lights, the sun to rule over the day and the moon to rule over the night. He also made the stars. He placed the lights in the sky to shine on the earth, to rule over the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God was pleased with what he saw. Evening passed and morning came, and that was the fourth day. Then God commanded, "Let the water be filled with many kinds of living beings, and let the air be filled with birds." So God created the great sea monsters, all kinds of creatures that live in the water, and all kinds of birds. And God was pleased with what he saw. He blessed them all and told the creatures that live in the water to reproduce and to fill the sea, and he told the birds to increase in number. Evening passed and morning came, and that was the fifth day. Then God commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of animal life, domestic and wild, large and small," and it was done. So God made them all, and he was pleased with what he saw. So that's the story of creation, which gives us an idea of how the earth came about and how God made everything in the earth. And what we want to talk about today is how we look after the earth that God gave us, and how important it is that we manage carefully with the things that God gave us on the earth, and how we make sure that they are able to continue, and that we care for the earth in the same way that God cares for us and God cares for the earth. So we're going to talk about some of the ways today that we can care for the earth and we can look after what God gave us and God's creation. And one of the ways that we can look after the earth is to make sure that we only use the things that we absolutely have to. And we don't use more than we need to keep ourselves happy and healthy. And one of the things that we all try and do is we try and recycle. We try and make sure that anything that we don't need anymore, gets reused in a way that can help the planet and not use up the precious resources that God gave us. So what we're going to talk about today is many of the ways that we can recycle old things that we have, and you can do this with anything around the house, and we can upcycle things that we have around the house. Now, upcycling is something that many of you will have heard of, and it's a term you can use to take something that you've had in your home or around you that you don't need to use for the purpose it was bought, and you can make it into something else. Now, Catherine is incredibly good at upcycling, and she's always taking things from around the house and turning them into other things. And so what we thought we would do is share some ideas about how things that Catherine has done to upcycle, and to give you some ideas how you could do it as well. So Catherine, do you want to show us some examples?
You can use basically anything. Old scarves, glass jars, shoe boxes, cereal boxes, but here are a few examples. So on this cushion I got an old scarf and wrapped it round it and sewed the edges to make this super cute cushion. And then here I decorated a shoebox in blue and black, and it's a little storage container. This is useful for holding little things like key rings. Then here I used an old cereal box and some wrapping paper and made it into something to hold my paper and my books. And then here I used another cereal container and decorated some plain paper and then stuck it on to make a little storage box. And then finally, I got this jar and decorated it with some marble nail polish. You could do this with paint or pens, and then I put some fairy lights in it. And so now it's kind of like a night light. And many people play with dolls, and here's what you can do. If you have any old fabric, you can sew them a dress just by cutting out a square and sewing the back. But if you don't want to do any sewing, you can get an old sock, and I'm going to show you now how to make this into a dress. So you preferably want a sock that has a hole in it or doesn't have a pair anymore, and so it will be easy to use. And you want to cut the sock off just above the ankle.
Want some help?
Mm-hmm.
You might need to get your mummy or daddy to help you with the cutting.
Now, depending on the length, you can cut a bit more, but you don't want it to be too short or it becomes a top. Now, most socks have this kind of rim or edge that has either frills on or just has a different pattern. And you want to cut just about where that ends and cut 2 slits like so.
You need quite a sharp pair of scissors for this. So we need 2 slits on either side for the armholes. 1 slit on either side rather for the armholes.
And then it ends up like this. And then you just want to put the doll inside the dress and put her arms through the holes. And then, ta-da! You end up with your very own doll dress. This one's quite a long dress, but you can make it shorter and you can add a belt to make it a bit more fitted and just do whatever you want. So that was how to create a dress with just a sock and a pair of scissors.
Okay, so hopefully that's given you some ideas about things you can use old equipment around your house, old items around your house to upcycle with. And what we'd love to do is when we get together for our Zoom Sunday School, we'd love to be able to hear some of your ideas about how we can upcycle some of the things that we've got around the house, and we can use that to help us really take care of all the resources that we have on our planet that God has given us, and take care of our planet and ourselves. Okay, so what we'd like to do is end with a prayer. So please put your hand together and let's say, Dear Lord, thank you very much for giving us the planet, for giving us each other, and for giving us all of creation. And help us to use the resources you've given us as wisely as we can and as carefully as we can, and with as much care as you show us every day. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us at Sunday School this week, and we hope to see you at the next Zoom meeting soon. Take care. Bye.